everybody, and welcome to Casual Gamer Oz, a brand new YouTube channel where basically casual gamers can come along and watch me race and play and do random shit on the PlayStation 4 when it comes to a variety of games. If you're familiar with my voice, my name is Ben. Plenty of podcasts out there, the Oz Network, Survivor Oz, formerly the Breen Qualifying Lap, you name it, we've done it, and branching out into gaming videos now. Apparently, but we thought we would just have a bit of fun allowing casual gamers to come along and I guess check out some gameplay and a bit of fun along the way, and if we can make you laugh then we're succeeding. If we can't, well then clearly we need to do a better job. But we're going to start off with some fun times with F1 2016 on PlayStation 4. Now of course F1 2017 is very close to being released, and hoping to do a bit of coverage with that. So we thought we would start off with F1 2016, have a bit of fun, and do a championship or two in career mode, see what we can get up to, and do it in a casual manner. So we're going to get straight into this and get straight into starting a brand new career here on F1 2016. Now, clearly, I'm not going to really go through too much in terms of the menus and all that sort of stuff, because I guess if you're watching this, you probably might be slightly familiar with how a lot of these games work. So this isn't really a tutorial as such. It's more just a bit of fun, and we can try and teach you some things along the way if we can, but if not, you can just join me in terms of being a casual gamer. Now, we're going to click on career, obviously, and we're going to start a brand new career. Now, that was my former career, where I was racing as Mo Petrelli, a guy that I created. My third season it is. He is basically doing quite well, won a couple of races, and going for the championship. But we're going to forget about Mo. Thanks, Mo, for your 2.5 seasons, or 2 and a bit seasons. Let's press square, and let's start a brand new career, because that's, I feel, the fun times of it. Now, given that this is called Casual Game Oz, obviously we're going to have a little bit of differences to some of these other videos on YouTube in terms of, I guess, the overall ability of what I will do. So you'll see certain things along the way that probably will frustrate you, and you can feel free to troll me in terms of what exactly I am doing and some things that perhaps other channels won't have. But look, again, we're Casual Gamer Oz. We're not Pro Gamer Oz or pretending to be brilliant at this game or any other games that we may cover across the time here. So let's just take it for what it is, people. We'll see how we go. Now, we're going to do a short weekend, because we are going to customize some of these sessions, and you'll see what I mean, obviously, as we go along here. Now, we're going to go with hard. Now, I guess I should start off by saying that obviously I've played Formula 1 games a lot in my life. I'm a huge Formula 1 fan. I would say my religion is Formula 1. I like to claim that. I've followed it pretty much my entire life, and I've attended many races, have been lucky enough to interview several drivers, be media at several events, and I'll tell a few stories along the way. But in terms of my gaming ability, I, you know, am, again, no mean professional. You might call me a casual gamer, and therefore I like to keep things a certain way, which I'm sure if I race a little bit harder and a little bit more, I might be able to make things a little bit harder. But again, if you want to see somebody, a more professional gamer, or somebody who's a lot better at this game than me, by all means, search for them. This is a completely different side of how that's going to be. So let's create something. I'm going to do something different here. I generally always, as you saw before with Mo Petrelli, somebody I created, I just generally make a name up, and I'm pretty much always Canadian in terms of these games. But I'm going to do something different here. I'm actually going to race as myself. I've never done that before. So let's choose an avatar here that closely resembles me. Clearly all these are fairly attractive men, and obviously they're probably not going to really resemble me. Who's the ugliest guy here? That guy's got a bit of a thumb head, if you want to say. Yeah, we'll go with him. Let's go with Thumbhead. Alright, let's choose a helmet here. Now, of course, a lot of tutorials and everything online, how to do all these. And, of course, I realise in the lead-up to F1 2017, these videos are probably falling by the wayside a little bit. And we'll obviously go over this on F1 2017 to see the differences. But in terms of what we're going to choose here, what looks special? That looks kind of like a waffle sort of thing there. That's almost like an Anthony Davidson style helmet. You've got the plain ones there, stripes, bit of pretty bland designs really here. I mean, there's only a few to choose from. Obviously we can change the colours. Now, I went with that one last time with the Target, but no, I think we'll go with waffle head. Let's make this a waffle head. So without going too much in here, you want to see me race, you want to see me make a dick of myself. We're going to go with good old Australian green and gold. If we're going to race as myself, we're going to go green and gold. So we'll make the inside of the waffle a bit of gold. Let's go for the green colour here. Where's that going to take us? That's really not doing anything. Oh no, there we go. It's like the lattice area is green. That's, oh, I don't know if I like that. We want a bit darker, do we? Yeah, I don't think that blends with the gold very well, does it? Okay, let's try this one here. What colour's this one? This is the main aspect of the helmet, isn't it? There we go. Well, how about we make that part very green. I think that looks quite nice. And we'll make the other bits the gold aspects. So we'll do one that's sort of like really gold. Like, say, well, that's more of a goldish colour, would you say not? Alright, let's take that for that. And then we'll go back to the base. And how does that go? We'll lighten that up slightly. How does that look? Yeah, it's a bit plain. But, it's not too bad. Green and gold, Australia. Yeah, boy, we'll take it. Alright, so, obviously, hello, I'm Australian, that's me. Now, driver number I'm going to keep, what I usually do, my favourite number is 62. I like the number 6, I like the number 2, so I combined the two and I chose number 62. So let's create this. Hi everyone, my name, I'd like to introduce yourself to me. If I learned how to do capitals on this thing, clearly casual, don't even know how to do it. Hi everyone, my name is Ben. Now, do we do this in capitals, or I always forget? Let's not, and see how that does. Alright, and everybody, hi, my last name is Waterworth, and if you want to know how much water is worth, you'll have to join the queue, because people have been asking me that my entire life. Alright, that looks good enough to me. Abbreviated name, well, I think really it just has to be WAT, does it not? Can it not be anything else? Hi everyone, oh no, we don't want that. We would like to call myself WAT. Hello everybody, WAT, pleased to meet you. There we go. Ben Waterworth, number 62, looks like a thumb, green and gold, done, accept. Now, obviously, F1 2016, you can choose whoever you want to race for. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this, because I kind of like having, you're kind of forced to start right down the bottom and make all your way up to the top, because that kind of a bit more of achievement here. Now, I realise you can technically do that, but, I mean, you know, obviously a lot of people play this game and go straight from the Ferrari, Mercedes, and I'm a Ferrari fan, so of course you'd think I'd choose Ferrari. And I know the expectations are very, very different. I mean, you can see here that if he's racing with Mercedes, you know, win a championship 1 to 2 seasons, Ferrari 1 to 2 seasons, Williams 1 to 2 seasons. Gee, they're very forward-thinking. They're good on you, Williams. Whereas if you go to Manor, championship in 4 to plus seasons. They're very forward-thinking. But, yeah, it's obviously harder if you start with Mercedes Ferrari, but, you know, I guess you'd say a little bit easier. But for shits and gigs, we're going to start off with the smaller team. We're going to go with Sauber. Now, as you can see here, I've raced with McLaren before in one of my other careers and won championships for them. I didn't obviously quite win the championship for Ferrari. But, yeah, the last time I did that with my Petrel, I started off with Haas, and then in my second season I ended up getting a Ferrari contract. But I'd like to try and start with Sauber. Maybe at least stick with them for 2 seasons minimum. We'll see how I feel, obviously, at the end of this season. Depends on how it all goes. And see how well we can develop the car to see how far we can push them up the grid. Because I'd like to maybe join Ferrari in the future and be battling against Sauber for the championship. That would be fun. So let's go with Sauber. Manisha Kauterborn still involved there, and we'll take that there. Now, I was a bit of a Felipe Nasr fan, and I'm very sad that he's kind of no longer in the sport anymore. So I'm going to make him my teammate, because let's be honest, Marcus Ericsson pays his way into the sport and has done shit all in like the 4 years he's been in Formula 1. So let's kick him out. Let's keep Felipe Nasr in. Now, this is kind of where the casual gamer side of things will come in. Now, I obviously want to make these videos nice and short and enjoyable for you, so that we can go along the way, and also because the PS4 generally allows for 15 minutes worth of recording. So it makes it a little bit easier if we turn around and shorten these settings a little bit. So we're going to go with one-shot qualifying. I actually was a fan of the one-shot qualifying that they had in the early 2000s. I quite like that. We're going to go a race distance of only 5 laps. Make it nice and short for you there. Obviously, it kind of sucks that you can't change the practice thing, because, I mean, I realise that practice, they want to get you in there to get these R&D developments going on and everything along those lines, but, you know, casual gamers such as myself, you know, we just want to get straight to the qualifying, straight into the race, but we'll get to that when you'll see that in a little bit. Now, in terms of the preferences, we'll go to the race settings. Now, we've got the AI level on hard, which is correct. Now, flashbacks. Now, what I'm going to do in at least the first season is I'm going to refuse to use flashbacks. So if I get taken out the first corner, that's it. We're going to treat it like a complete rookie season, and mistakes happen. So that is clearly what I'm going to do. And I'm going to leave them on. But one thing that I will say about these Codemasters games with this flashback system is they really do make it so you can get away with so many things and just keep going. I mean, any long-term F1 gamers remember the actual days where, you know, you're 50% through a race and you'd have to restart rather than going back there. But, you know, it's got its positives and negatives, I guess. Now, pretty much everything else we're going to keep here, what we've already got, all this sort of stuff, race starts, I keep them assisted. I know you can kind of obviously manually do it. And again, casual gamer folks here, just read the name of the channel. Sadly, you can't have the safety car on a 5-lap race or a formation lap, but pretty much we'll keep all of these on here. Parc Fermé rules off on. I think we might... no, we'll keep them on, actually. We'll make that a little bit harder. We'll go that for ourselves in that one. So we'll keep the race settings to that. Pretty much everything I'll keep the same way, so... can't even really change that anyway as it is. Obviously we'll have dynamic weather and all that sort of stuff. So that's our preferences. That's what we've locked in. And that basically means from this point on, folks, we are ready to get into our first race. So we're obviously going to be heading to Australia first. Home Grand Prix for myself, the debutant. Ben Waterworth driving for Sauber. Very excited to finally get into F1 now. With any of these F1 games with just this crap, we're going to get introduced to all these sort of idiots. And I hate this woman. What's her name? Is it Kate? Let's listen to her.
Hi, I'm Emma.
Emma. Alright, sorry Emma. Motorsport lawyers, whatever the fuck she walks for. She's annoying as fuck, let's be honest. I'm going to bag the crap out of her across my career here. She just sits and plops herself down and gives me crap that I, you know, could have done myself. But, hey, whatever. Emma. And then we've got our R&D guy, can't even remember his name. And Jeff, my mechanic. Good bloke, Jeff. We like Jeff. So, sorry if you're wanting to listen to Emma here just rabbit on about bullshit. I mean, the phone there is just lit up and just going to drain a battery there. It looks like she's got quite a busy schedule. She's got 4 things on. You know, I mean, Jesus. She's got a giant... What's that belt thing she's wearing? Anyway, split leg up the dress there. Cool. Alright, anyway, so let's see. What does Sauber expect of me this year? I'm a second driver along Felipe Nazar. They wanted me to develop the car. And let's go out there and win some points. Cool. Pretty standard, really. So, I do like this kind of setting, just sitting in the motorhome, just watching everybody chill. You know, there's Manisha, just chilling and chatting to the mechanics. Of course, all the mechanics who look exactly the same at every single team. And someone like Anthony Davidson, who's over there in the distance, just chilling and having a chat. Now, one thing I will say is, obviously an Australian, been to the Australian Grand Prix multiple times and been lucky enough to actually have been in the paddock at Albert Park working as media before, and this is not what the paddock looks like. They do not sit over the lake, and any fan who has been to Melbourne knows that they are nowhere near the lake. So, yeah, just thought I would dispel that myth. I mean, it's not a really huge myth to dispel, but anyway, that's how I thought I would roll with that one. Okay, so let's now move into basically our very first race. So we're going to obviously go into the laptop. We will get a bit of an introduction, what we do, and then, yep, we've seen all this before. Again, anybody who's brand new to F1 2016, maybe again has just got this to try it out a little bit before F1 2017 comes out. I'm not really going to give you a tutorial, but there's plenty here that you can sink your teeth into when it comes to all aspects of this game. We're going to go straight into practice one. Now, again, I'm going to try and do this as quickly as possible with a lot of this season, so I don't race in practices. I realise the positives you get R&D points if you go through certain achievements, and something that obviously I have done, but, you know, there's plenty of fans out there who basically just get straight into it and just want to play along. But yeah, look, great graphics. Don't really want to go into all the details because I think that's something we'll probably concentrate a little bit more on F1 2017, but just the visuals and everything along that goes along lines with that's obviously very false misinterpretation of Kimi Räikkönen there. He was sitting there and actually communicating with people, so that's obviously a bit of a lie. So yeah, obviously we can skip to qualifying, so you basically oh no, you can't in your first one, can you? No, so your first one you can't. You will see this soon. So basically, when you hit the options menu, generally there's an option that says skip to qualifying. But for the first one, we'll just retire from the session because we suck. And anyway, so we're going to go straight to qualifying and skip it the long way around. How's my teammate? How'd Felipe go? How's the Sauber looking in 2016? 17th, so we're faster than Renault and Manor. We'll take that, okay. Bit unrealistic there in terms of faster than Renault, but... Cool. Game can't be completely realistic. Again, we just saw Kimi Räikkönen having a conversation with somebody that's not exactly realistic. Anyway, so I guess in terms of, as I kind of said, what I'm going to do in this season for you guys is I am just going to do no flashbacks. So if I fuck up in qualifying, if I fuck up in races, I will just leave it be. First season, at least, we'll see how we go in the second one. Obviously, you can get quite anal when it comes to your... oh, here he comes.
Hi. Good to meet you at last. My name's Chris.
Chris. Alright, I'm sorry, I was just a bit silent because I couldn't remember the dickhead's name. Yeah, so we'll obviously treat this like a real rookie, so mistakes will happen. I'll end up probably crashing out of half these races, probably not finishing anything. But anyway, so this is Chris. He's your R&D dickhead. He annoys the fuck out of you every couple of rounds saying, hello, you haven't updated your car in a while. Fucking do it, otherwise I'll go and look over smugly over here. He always has this weird smirk on his face. He's going to do it for me first of all here. And I just love how he follows you to every team. Like, everybody in this game is very clingy. Emma, Chris, they just don't fucking leave you alone, man. Jeff. Jeff's a good guy, I like Jeff. He's a bit of work done, Chris, I think, since when he's working with me in Ferrari there in Motorelli.
Anyway,
can you give me a smirk? There he is. A little bit, there he goes. Come on, smirk me. There you are. You're a smirker. Alright, fuck off, mate. Anyway, cool. That's Chris. Oh, there's Anthony Davidson. He's chilling in the motorhome, as you would, of course. Why wouldn't he be anywhere else? He's a bit of a fan of mine. So anyway, this is obviously your R&D updates where you can fix all aspects of the car, and obviously the longer you're with a team, the better performance it is. And as you'll see there on the right hand side, Sauber is actually the worst team in terms of our current performance. We are right down the bottom, so this is going to make it even more fun to develop this car and maybe stick with them for at least 2 seasons to see how far we can go up the grid. And obviously F1 2017 though, the stuff that's been announced, at least at the time that I'm doing this video, this is a lot more complicated and a lot more complex, which will be very exciting because this is effective. I know they've done this in past F1 games with Codemasters, but you never really felt too much of the difference. You really did in F1 2016. You know, this has definitely been a great feature of the game, as I kind of mentioned before, that starting off as Sauber, and I can develop them basically into a title-winning car up there with Mercedes. And if I leave Sauber and go and join Mercedes, Sauber will still be fighting for the championship, which is great. I love how it kind of keeps that consistency to make it worth playing over those 10 seasons, obviously, you're doing the career. So, obviously, we've got 410 resource points at the moment, so the only things I can really update here are the drag on the barge boards and the fuel efficiency. We're going to start with the fuel efficiency, because if you want to select your rich mode to help push yourself a little bit further in a race, it helps that you don't run out of fuel as easily as that. So, done. That will be in place for the next race in Bahrain. We'll just go to practice 2, and this should allow me to skip to qualifying now. Yes, it does. Advanced qualifying. So, first time out of the way, done. Don't give a shit. How did Nazar go? He dropped some places now. We're behind Renault. And, Honda, McLaren dropped down. That's not unusual. But, alright, so we've got a bit of work to do here. So, it's not looking too good for Sauber in qualifying at the 2016 Australian Grand Prix. But, myself, Ben Waterworth, stepping into the car for the very first time, I'm quite hopeful that I can, in front of my home fans, I'm going to go for top 15. Top 15, Ben. That's what we're going to do. Obviously, one-shot qualifying. I can't say I'm going to get out of Q3, Q2, Q1, because we've basically got one lap and that's it. And, oh, God, here she comes again.
Hey.
This is this rival system, which I think is just crap. Let's be honest. And why are you showing me my phone? That is exactly the same screen that was on it before. I don't want to see your schedule, bitch. Fuck off. There she goes. She listens to me. So yeah, driver rivalry. Obviously, you've got to try and beat your teammate. And of course, what a surprise! My first rival is my teammate. And again, I mean, I feel it never really is that effective because I mean, they turn around and say, "Oh, you get this, you get that, and you get everything else for beating your rival." But I don't know. I think they need to tweak this a little bit to make it so you really feel effects for beating your rival. So maybe in F1 27 we'll have that. Now, looking at that window there, folks, it's raining. So does that mean that we're gonna have a wet qualifying? It's going to be a bit bullshit if it is. Alright, let's go into qualifying. Ooh, nervous. Here we go. First ever qualifying in my F1 career for Sauber 2016. I love the presentation. One thing you hear me talk a lot about in these games is just the presentation. As a lifelong F1 fan, I love it when a game looks like it does when you're watching it on TV. And obviously that little introduction that you just saw just then, very similar to what you do see on the coverage of Formula 1, but it's just not the same. I have seen in the preview videos for F1 2017 that they do have the actual introduction from the coverage of F1, so that is very much something that I am looking forward to. But anyway, it's raining, we're in Albert Park, 20 degrees and heavy rain, so this is going to be a bit of a... Jesus, that does not look anything like Kevin Magnussen. It really does not look like Kevin Magnussen. I've never noticed that before. Anyway, pissing down with rain, this is going to make it more difficult, but I'm up for a challenge. It's my first ever qualifying. Let's press square. Let's get into it. We're on full wet. Don't need to change any other settings. I'm a casual gamer, folks. I'm going to say that a lot of the time. And as you will see here, I have the racing line on. Now, I know this is something you guys are going to troll the shit out of me for. And I don't give a fuck because it helps. And as a casual gamer, despite the fact that, again, I've been playing F1 games for a long time, I know the Albert Park circuit quite well. I still like having it on. It's a comforting thing, alright? So, yeah, feel free to troll me. Anyway, this is a very... Wow. As you saw before with my former career with Moped Trelli, I'd upgraded that Ferrari to feel quite a little comfortable car, even in the wet. And this is heavy. There is barely any grip, and I feel oversteer completely on this car. Oh no, that was... Yeah, this feels like I'm just walking on ice at the moment. I am going to spin at any point here. And you can see the ghost car, I'm getting my ass whooped. So, again, this is what F1 2016 does well. It really does make you feel the differences in the cars, particularly early on in your career, which is where you develop and you really do feel the difference. So, I know a lot of games in the past, even the ones that I was saying before I liked it when, say, you started at the bottom and worked your way up, they still made the cars not feel that different. So, like, you know, you think back in the days of F1 2020, 2011, you know, you start off as an HRT, a Caterham or a Virgin or a Marussia, and, you know, you really would feel not that whole lot of difference. And you could be, in the middle of that season, challenging for podiums and constant points and even wins. Whereas this, I mean, you know, obviously I have it on shortened races and it's, you know, go balls out and all that kind of stuff, but I doubt very much that I can force this up very high this season. I mean, I got close to a couple of podiums in my Haas days with Petrelli, but oh, I held it together. Come down the main straight. What are we sitting in at the moment? We're dead last on the dash there, and yeah, dead last. Well, there you go. Hello, Jeff. No, Jeff didn't want to talk to me very well. So, well, fuck that shit. I wanted top 15 and I ended up getting 22nd. And their team wanted me to finish in 21st. Alright, well, look, let's take a look at the grid properly tomorrow in terms of the day. I'm not going to leave you right now. But I like the presentation of it. So, yep, shit qualifying, debut race. 22nd, the media asking me all these questions. Ben, are you disappointed with that race? Of course I'm fucking disappointed, mate. I'm dead last on my debut of my Grand Prix. What a stupid fucking question. I can say that because, you know, I generally work in the media, so I can anticipate the questions and try and give some answers that actually give some good sound bites. Now, what a surprise. I'm going to be losing my rivalry, aren't I? Yep, getting, oh, not that badly, only 3. But anyway, introduction to team standings. Thanks for this. This is just a little system where it's kind of head-to-head with your teammate. Well, he's my fucking rival anyway, so we know we're losing that, so we're losing that anyway. Let's hope for a dry race on the Sunday, folks. Let's go it. Let's go to our first Grand Prix, our very first race, our actual race. We've qualified poorly. We're going to make our way up. Now, I'm guessing my team expectation will probably be something like about a 17th or 18th. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say I'm going to aim for top 15 again. I know I said that for qualifying. It rained. Don't hold it against me. It's not raining today. It's a beautiful sunny day in Melbourne. Fantastic. Let's get into this. Now, let's just take a quick look at the grid before we get started, because I want to take a look at this. 2016 first race is going to be Mercedes front row. Is it? Of course it is. Hamilton, Rosberg. The Ferraris are up there. Hello, Vettel. Hello, Raikkonen. Good to see you guys up there as a Ferrari fan. The Red Bulls, pretty stock standard, really, except for the McLaren's being that high up. That is bullshit. That is very unrealistic. Grosjean, Perez, Massa. Yep, cool. Hulkenberg, Sainz should be higher up than that, so should Kvyat. Of course, anybody will remember that Nazar there is in 20. That of course, technically, this race in the real 2016 Australian Grand Prix, that Kvyat was with Red Bull and Verstappen was with Toyota. They didn't switch till after, of course, the Russian Grand Prix, but that's you know, one thing that obviously is a little bit tricky to switch mid-game. All right, here we go. This is we're ready to get into this. I'm ready to get into this. Our very first Grand Prix here. And I'm very excited, so let's press this button and let's do this motherfucker. Alright, first light, second light, third light, fourth light. It's lights off and away we go. Thank you, Crofty. Pretty piss poor start there, I have to say, by myself. Got a lot of wheel spin. Dragon at the back, when I'm going to take a dive on the inside here and hopefully not crash because we're not using flashbacks. Oh, he just holds on to it. Good work. And I don't even think that I took anyone out or overtook anyone into that first corner. Wow, that was good. I was glad with that. I've made up 5 positions. All right. Okay, everyone's keeping it together so far here. Good start here by rookie Waterworth. On the butt of Carlos Sainz, up and ready, and I'm in my top 15 spot. Now, they only want me in the top 21. I was a bit generous, thinking they want me in the top 17. They really don't think much of my ability, it seems, after my shit qualifying the day before. Alright, well, fuck you, Sauber. I'm going to do even better than 21st. I'm going to be a dry weather racer and not a wet weather racer. Up to 14th here, and I'm looking at a very posterious looking Williams in front of me now, but as you can see, the pace is just nowhere on this Sauber. That Williams is just pulling away, and I'm going to be, I feel, defending my little bottom, particularly if I make shit moves like that. Oh, I've been clipped again. No, I'm off. No. Minor arrow to the wing. Oh, penalty, my asshole. Fuck you, stewards. Kvyat's out. Wow. Jesus, Kvyat's out of the Grand Prix. Jeff's, I don't know if you can hear that on my controller. There we go. Yeah, fuck you, Jeff. Just shut the fuck up, mate. Anyway, so 2-second time penalty for that incident, which, look, let's be honest, I kind of lost it, and then I clipped him, then I spun, then I was off, and got a damaged front wing, and I'm just wondering if it's worth pitting. I mean, I'm dead last, nothing's going to change. Let's do a lap, feel what it does, and, well, I think I jinxed myself there, didn't I? Big wigging myself, saying that I was going to do well in this Grand Prix, and Sauber had little thoughts of me, but clearly their thoughts are a lot more accurate than I gave myself credit for. Oh boy. Actually, the car doesn't feel that bad with his front wing damage, so I think we'll just continue. Nothing to lose. It's my team out in front, so terrible start for the 2016 season here for Sauber. I mean, I'm going to finish 21st, so I'm going to meet my team's objectives, because obviously Kvyat's out of the Grand Prix, so that can't change. And somehow I've managed to set a purple first sector, which I think is a little bit bullshit. Although, it does feel as though I am catching these little motherfuckers in front of me. Alrighty, so, got to get ahead of at least 1 or 2 of these guys by more than 2 seconds. I've got 3 laps to do it in. I don't think that's going to work. Let's aim for a top 20. Pre-penalty? Yeah, pre-penalty. I think post-penalty it's going to affect me. I mean, the penalty system, I will say, is frustrating. They've definitely tweaked it. It used to be a lot worse in some of the earlier Codemasters games. But in terms of that, you can do something that, you know, is not your fault. And you can get penalised for it. I mean, again, not as bad as it used to be. A car used to just touch you and you used to get a penalty for it, which is bullshit. But, yeah, I mean, look, I think we can maybe take a bit of a look at the replay after the race, but I definitely feel that I did not do anything wrong. Anyway, DRS enabled. Okay, thanks, Jeff. We get it, mate. We know how Formula 1 works. Now, Albert Park in general, this is a great circuit. This is always one of my favourite circuits, and I guess it's probably, you can say I'm biased because I am Australian. And plus I have been to this Grand Prix multiple occasions. I have not missed a race since 2009 was the last one I didn't go to, and previously before that I went to the 2003 and 2005 Australian Grand Prix growing up. So yeah, it's a great circuit, it's a great event, and again, I'm probably extremely biased because I'm Australian, but it is definitely one of the greatest Grand Prix in the world to attend, just with the off-track activities that are going on and just everything that is around it. But there is one Grand Prix that I have been to recently that I feel is better held than the Australian Grand Prix, and I will tell you that when we get to that race later in the season. But yeah, it's a great circuit. Albert Park, it's fantastic. Highly recommend it if you're Australian. If you're not Australian, come to Albert Park. Great race to have the opening round of the season at, and yeah, definitely recommend it. Now, I definitely also recommend the fact that I'm catching these. Look at this. This is a bit of a train here. It's almost like a trolley train. We've got the Renaults and the Saubers and the Manas having a bit of a train here. There's got to be another one in this battle. I just don't know how to get on. I suppose it's a Haas. I say it's Gutierrez. One dud. Alright, here we go. We've got, I'm not sure like a DRS of that. It's not close to a second here. Alright, my teammate 2 laps. There we go. Jeff's telling me 0.7 seconds. For some reason I didn't get DRS. I mustn't have been that close when I actually crossed through the line. Oh, don't go on the curb there, Ben. You'll bin it. I think I can stick one up the inside of my teammate here. What do you reckon? A late break myself. Oh, hello, Felipe. How you doing, mate? Oh, good move. Good move. I'll take it. All right. Top 20 on track, but remember I've got that 2-second penalty hanging over my head, so I'm going to have to force my way through a couple of these cars in front of me. Otherwise, this is all going to be for nothing. And remember, my front wing's damaged too, so really not feeling. It's only minor damage. There's only yellow on the damage map, of course, so that means that it's not that bad. So I'm glad I took the risk to stay out, because I think I can possibly get ahead of these 4 cars here. I've got a lap and a half to do it, but just the overall engine power is terrible on this car. The acceleration by those manners. Oh, that's a bit of corner cutting there. That was a bit cheeky. Alright. This is a new life goal. Get ahead of these bloody manners. Rio Harriante, the most forgettable Formula 1 driver in recent times. And, yeah, sorry to all our Indonesian viewers today. I'm sure he's a very nice guy. I don't think I actually met him before. Oh no, I've damaged the other side of my front wing now. I've just made it evened out. That was a bit of a lazy move there, Ben. Oh, but we've got DRS. Alrighty, last lap. Azar's nowhere near me, behind me. Can I get Rio? Can I risk it? Do I risk it to get the biscuit? I'm nowhere near him to risk it to get the biscuit, so we're just going to hold back a little bit. And we've got a good bit of drive coming out of the first corner there. Approaching Rio with some more DRS. Oh, I'm going to dive bomb him here. We're going to dive bomb both of them. We're going to hit a Renault. Oh, shit. That was not a good move. That was not a good move. And I got another penalty. Fucking hell. Yep. That is not how you drive a Formula 1 car. This has been quite a forgettable weekend for myself. Yeah, Jeff, go fuck yourself, mate. Oh, I'm nearly going to retire from my first race. Now my front wing is completely fucked. I can definitely feel it now. I was basically last. Nothing to lose, folks. Come on. Alright. Let's limp our way home. We'll take 21st. Again, we've technically met the team's obligations. We've qualified last. We've finished last. And probably not the way I wanted to start off this video series. I'm a better racer than this, guys, believe it or not. I know a casual gamer and all, but... oh, Lewis Hamilton won. That's a shock. I was expecting that. Fucking hell. Alrighty. Well, at least I didn't run into my teammate. I think after this we'll have a quick look at the replay to see what happened with that Carlos Sainz incident. Just to show you, to see whose fault it was, to see if that penalty was there. We won't go all the way to that incident, obviously, because we will be here a while fast forwarding that. But anyway, Ben Waterworth, the hometown hero. Hopefully Daniel Ricciardo did a little bit better, the other Aussie. But here we go, yeah. We'll just do a bit of a fishy down the straight. He's happy, then he won. Yeah, we'll slow it down. Raise the finger. Come on, Ben, raise the finger. No. Alright. This is the thing. Team objective is met, so he's going to commend you for it. What a load of bullshit. God. Oh, look at Toto. He's pumping his fist on the podium. No, we're not going to... Let's not watch a full podium until we actually get on the podium, folks. Let's tease it that way. Alright, I just want to quickly, before we leave this and wrap up our first one, let's just take a look at the replay here. I just want to see what happened with me. That was a decent start there. And, oh, I'm fighting my way up. Now, of course, I made all those places up at the beginning, didn't I? And... right there, so that's Sainz there on my left, I believe, from memory. Or was that? No, I think that was Kvyat, wasn't it? Because Sainz was the one that I ended up in front of. And if we just take a look at this, I dive bombed him in the middle here, didn't I? Yep, I'm ahead of him there. So I've gone off. Oh, there's been clears in the background. This is great viewing. I'm glad you're very thrilled by what is actually happening at this point. Because I actually can't even remember what happened at the beginning of the race here. So this is what I'm trying to see. This Sainz incident. I'm covering off there. He's coming up behind me. I think I didn't know stuff. Oh, yep, I've clipped the grass there. That was a bit of erratic driving. Oh, yeah, I've run wide. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Oh, now that's a bit tricky. So I've run wide, come straight onto the racing line, the tiniest of touches, if you don't mind. So that's where I've gotten the penalty, because that is Sainz in front of me right there. Because Kvyat, that's Kvyat behind me. He's about to get taken out. So if I clip in there, bang, Kvyat's up my butt, and that's all good. What happens to Kvyat? Kvyat's... Oh, there he goes. Kvyat's lost it somewhere in the middle. Anyway, okay, look, we've had enough. That's bullshit. That wasn't a penalty. So Hamilton wins. Rosberg second. Vettel, Raikkonen, Ricciardo, Verstappen, Button, Alonso, Bottas, Perez. Pretty standard. Top 10 there, nothing different. The championship, well, clearly Hamilton's going to be leading. Mercedes 1-2. So we've got Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, McLaren, Williams, Force India, and the constructors. That should mean Mercedes are romping at home after the first Grand Prix they are. And where's poor old Sauber? There we are in 8th position without a single point. That's there we go, folks. That is race 1. Thank you for tuning in here on Casual Gamer Oz. I can't remember the name of our fucking channel. It's been fun. Hopefully we'll fare a little bit better when we move to Bahrain next and follow how plucky old Ben Waterworth goes in his second Grand Prix in Formula 1. In the meantime, remember to subscribe if you like this video, leave us a comment, feedback, everything along those lines, and we look forward to bringing you more content here on Casual Gamer Oz.